Hello, you guys. Welcome back to Channel Clay. I hope you're doing well wherever you are in this crazy world. So, this is going to be a continuation of this ASMR flip through of the 17 magazine from July 2004. Alright, so the last video was about 4 months ago, you guys. I promised I'd be back. Alas, I'm here. And I got a new setup, so hopefully this is going to work out a little bit better. And I did get a little microphone, so I hope the sound is a little better as well. Just trying to do some improvements when it comes to my ASMR videos, because I really do admire ASMR as an art. I use it daily, like when I want to go to sleep. I have a few favorite artists, Moonlight Cottage, Jeannie B, ALB Whisperland. I think there's one Nefertiti ASMR. So there's a few creators that I really enjoy their work, and they are true talents. So I just wanted to continue my ASMR video because this magazine is very special. As you can see, it features the Olsens, and it is double-sided. I think that for the purpose of this video, I'm going to take off this bracelet, so give me one moment. Okay, so we're back. Let's try to find where we last left off. I remember these camis growing up. My mom would always be like, you need a cami underneath, you need a cami, go get a cami on. And I would go and have to put on a cami under everything because she didn't, want my chest out. Completely understand. But all of these different colored camis, they ran $15 to $22. I mean, that's on the higher end for a cami. $22 from one single cami. But even at Old Navy, $15. I used to love Dahlias. Dahlias isn't even a thing anymore. I used to love getting their catalog because everything was so cute. 579. I remember 579 because they only had sizes 5, 7, and 9, which definitely probably would not fly during today's climate because it's kind of exclusive and not inclusive at all. So if you're only servicing 3 different sized people, that probably wouldn't fly nowadays. But yeah, let's see. I don't think I know some cute outfits, how to wear a mini skirt. I feel like I've worn this combination before with the mini skirt and then the leggings and the Converse. I for sure wore that in my youth. And I also feel like I've worn a variation of this. And of course, the poncho. Loved a good poncho. I'm trying to make sure with my new setup, I can't see the camera so much, so I'm like trying to look to make sure everything's still in frame. So I guess I'll get used to this the more I use my tripod, but let me know how you like this. Oh, I love a good dance movie, The Company. I've never seen The Company, but I love, is that James Franco? Yep, that's James Franco. He's like shunned from society now for being a creep. But I love a good dance movie. There was one, I think it was like Center Stage. And then you have Save the Last Dance, of course, and all the step-up movies. Perfect Brows. Oh my gosh, my brows suck. Like, I try to grow them out, but they like are just so short. And from all the years of waxing, they just have not grown back. It's pretty eyeshadow. It's blue color. I'm so not there when it comes to like my makeup. I want to get better in this coming year to really like get a signature look. And I need to get a good setting spray. Because if I'm walking around, like if I go to hug somebody, my makeup is like getting on them and I'm like fucking up their clothes and it's just horrible. So like I forgot to get a good setting spray and get this makeup deal together. But this looks beautiful on them. I feel like I'd look like a raccoon if I tried to put on metallic blue eyeshadow. Giving you different hairstyles, different products you can use. Why is it with bobby pins, like you always lose them? Whenever you need one, you can never find one. I remember Satin Care. Yep, I remember this like design. Oh, I remember I took this test in the last one, so we haven't even gotten to that point. Some of this may be redundant. I remember talking about this as well. Trying to get us to where on the job manners, follow these office tips and you'll impress everyone you work with. At the office. I don't want any tips about that. Like, I'm so over it. I feel like, did we talk about the funny pre-date rituals for the guys? He says he plays it cool. Sometimes when I get really nervous, I fumble my words and say things I don't want her to know. So before I leave to go on a date, I always sit down and go over what I want to say to a girl. Now the ladies think I'm a real smooth talker. And that's Ricky. He's from Toledo, Ohio. He's 16 years old. So he's doing a little role play situation to try to get confident men. Oh, is this a poem? Okay. It says real life, your words. Okay, so I guess people could like submit poems in. So this is the writer, Gancia Estamira. She's self-published. She was 19 when this came out, and she's got her poetry in 17 magazine. Very cool. And it says here she's also was working on a new book. So she has this poem here called Tuesday Morning. So let's check it out. It says, on days like this, when the fluffy clouds are moving, in the quiet blue sky with the loudest presence, everything makes sense. Everything feels okay. Everything falls into place. My emotions come to life. My body feels like dancing. My soul is on fire. I feel brave enough to touch you. The ground is sturdy enough to jump on. The air is clean enough to breathe. I can open my mouth and taste feeling. I can open my eyes and see hope. On days like this, I could press my hands over a ledge. I can kiss the air and imagine it was you. And I would sit on the cold, wet grass and stare out to nowhere and see you everywhere. On days like this, being with you is a wish that could come true, but only on a day like this. Oh, wow. How lovely. How lovely. So apparently, maybe I have to look her up, see what poetry book she has out, because that was beautiful. Oh, look at that baby. It's like feeling like you're falling in love. That's what I got out of it. Like everything feels okay, everything is perfect because you're in love and you see all the good parts of it, but only on a day such as this Tuesday morning. I thought it was gorgeous. So, what's it like to live in Australia? You guys, if I'm being honest, like Australia, like I feel like it's one of those places that like I can know exist and I can see it on TV and all of those things. I don't feel like I have to visit. Simply because I've heard like they've got all types of like different insects and like creatures and shit, and they're fucking huge, like those big ass spiders and fucking snakes and shit. Like I cannot. So I feel like it's best for everybody if I just stayed my ass here. Well, I love to travel, but maybe not to Australia. This is Baby Fat. Do y'all remember Baby Fat? So this green tunic. See, this is what I like about like fashion because some things you can tell like yes, this is from 2004, but this is still like an outfit you could wear now in 2025. That like it means it's timeless. This is actual style. It's not just something that's trendy. So this tunic was like $68. Okay. The jeans also Baby Fat $59. So that's a pretty pricey fit. And Baby Fat was considered like high end. So this is like the urban chic move to the beat of the street look. But then they go white girl. Funny. Oh, I remember Rockaware as well. This little off the shoulder top that's cute. $58. She has these little jeans. It looks more like a capri. Those $62. Those are cute. See, I'd wear this outfit too. And then this is a little Echo Red set. I remember Echo. This is the top is 36, and then the mini skirt is 58. So, of course, they can never sell a set together. This romper's cute too. J-Lo by Jennifer Lopez, so I guess she was doing a collaboration with them, and this is one of her outfits. This little romper she did. This is $89. Cute. This was at Macy's. That's back when Macy's actually you could go there and find a cute fit. Nowadays, going to Macy's or like Belk, it's really hard to find like an outfit. That's why like a lot of people are ordering stuff online because it's like the shit's not cute. But then Proactive. Y'all remember Proactive? I feel like there was consistently like there was always a Proactive commercial on. Like I tried Proactive, but I felt like it broke my skin out worse. And then I remember someone telling me that like that's what it does. It's like pulling the impurities from your skin so it gets worse before it gets better. But I'm like a teenager, so I'm trying to use this to make my skin better, not worse. Like I do not have the time for all that. It has to get worse before it gets better. Shit at like 16, 17, absolutely not. So I stopped using it. No. But yes, I remember like they always had their number, and then back then you can like fill all your information out and just like send it in. Feels very old school nowadays because now we just send online for everything. And then your rights, election 04. Lord. Speaking of elections, it seems like Trump is about to go down. Trump is about to go down. They're releasing all these emails with his name riddled through all of them, and like Epstein is just like casually talking about Trump and how he's a dog who hasn't barked yet, and apparently they had spent Thanksgiving together, like while Trump was in office, like his first term. And so like all of this shit is coming out. Like this is the beginning of the end, people. But like it's been everywhere, but it's like we've known this man is a horrible man for a very long time. It's like he's a 37-time criminal and he still somehow was able to make office. So it's like, don't just tell us all this information that he's been messing with kids with Epstein on his island and doing all this stuff and then not do anything about it and let this man still be in office for another 3 years. So it's like, come on. But anyway, it seems like it's about to go down. And let's see, Shamu. They need to be calling Trump Shamu, but apparently kids were calling her Shamu. Kids can be so cruel. They can be so cruel. Calling somebody Shamu. So I guess this is a little article about teen obesity. It's saying 15% of American teenagers are obese, more than in any country. Well, that's because you feed us shit. The stuff that is in our food now, like in the United States, the stuff that is in our food is like illegal in other countries. And you don't make towns or cities that walkable. We only have a few like big cities that are really walkable and easy to get around. Otherwise, you have to drive everywhere. This country has so many fucking suburbs, and all there is a damn like shopping plaza. And you have to drive 10 to 15 minutes to get to it. But like, there's nothing else around. All reasons why the school lunches fucking suck. You give the kids shit. In other countries, they're feeding them actual nutritious, balanced, real food, not fucking modified meat patties with a fucking bun. Let's see. What is this little black book for gossip movies and music tours? Oh, what's this about? Special gossip edition? Oh, let's see. Gossip column. This is about Ashton Kutcher. The funny thing about young Hollywood is that we're a bunch of kids who've grown up working together, and over the years we've all become friends. My shows tape on the lot next to that 70s show, and I hang out with Ashton Kutcher and Wilmer Valderrama and Topher Grace on Friday nights when I can. But I also have friends from years back like Erica Christensen, and when any of us hears about a party or an event, we call everyone we know to make sure they'll be there too. I mean, I figured, that's why everybody's hooking up with each other. Like they're passing each other around. So this is about Rachel Bilson. There are days I'll get like 80 calls to figure out where to go. The hottest clubs in LA right now are Avalon and El Centro. We arrive as a big group and there's always a line, but because the bouncers usually recognize at least one of us, especially if we're with a huge star, they'll say right this way, once we're in, we'll get a table and hang out and dance. A lot of young actors get involved with causes, so we go to charity fundraisers. In March, I hosted a concert for a community outreach program. Beck played, and my friends like Danny Masterson stopped by. Danny Masterson. It's so crazy how like time is, because this is like 2004, right? And like that 70s show and like the OC, Rachel Bilson and Adam Brody, I believe they were both from the OC. But Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher, they were on like the That 70s show with this Danny Masterson. And now, and they were like, back then, they were at the top of their game, okay? Getting paid, like considered like A-list. And now these two have been shunned because they were a character reference for Danny Masterson, who was on the show with them, who I think he like, I don't want to say it completely wrong. I think he R-worded someone. I'm pretty sure that's what he did, but I could be wrong. I just know it's bad. But and he's in jail. But they wrote a character reference or something like in defense of him, something crazy, and so that now they've been canceled. Danny Masterson's in jail, and like these are the only two doing something. Adam Brody is like still working, and he's married to Leighton Meester. So crazy, crazy, crazy. Oh, Mr. Big equals Mr. Lane. Oh, really? So Christopher, well, why do I call him Christopher? Chris North, aka Big from Sex and the City, wins the prize for most inappropriate pickup lines. Like Mr. Big, he'll stop at nothing to get what he wants. But here's proof that his real life moves aren't nearly as smooth as Big's were. I was at this bar when Chris North put his hand up the back of my shirt and kissed my neck. I said, "My boyfriend's here." And he said, "I'm a guy, you're a girl, it's all okay." What? He actually owned the bar. So when he went behind it to talk to the bartender, I asked him for a free drink since he kissed me. Like, that's definitely. He kissed her. Hold up, wait. It did say that he kissed. That's sexual harassment. That's sexual assault. Kissing somebody you don't know randomly, unwanted. Oh shit! Like this little, just this tidbit in today's time, cancel. Um, it says she she asked him for a free drink since he kissed her. Then she gave it to her boyfriend. She says, "I was on the dance floor at the club and Chris North was there dancing alone." That's weird. He said, "I like your shades and I like the way you dance." I shut my eyes for just a second, and by then he was with another girl and had his hands on her chest. What the fuck? Chris North sounds like a skis. Ugh. So he plays a fucking asswipe on the TV and is the skis in real life. Alright, let's hear about The Rock. It says, "The Rock and I were chatting at a World Wrestling Entertainment event when he asked me to dinner with his friends, but then they all bailed. Our car stopped outside of a hotel. He got out and his bodyguard said, 'The Rock has gone to his room and ordered room service for both of you.' I said, 'No, he's married,' and made his driver take me home." Oh, Lord. So The Rock was out trying to. Why is 17 magazine spilling the tea on like grown ass fucking men like this? This is very odd. Like this is bad stuff. Like this is stuff that like they would most certainly be canceled. Like this is, I guess, all allegedly. This is the little black book of gossip, movies, and music. But my goodness, spilling tea. So let's go to John Mayer. We know John Mayer, infamously Playboy. Okay, we know he did Jessica Simpson so bad. So let's see. John Mayer has used the same line on me and two of my friends on 3 different nights in 3 different cities. He walked up to each of us. Hold up, where is this information coming from? Okay, anyway, he walked up to each of us and asked, "Do you enjoy smoking cigarettes during sex?" I'm sorry. I guess I have to tell you, I did partake just a little before. So maybe that's why I'm so giggly, but like I just really can't believe this is like in a 17 magazine. So he's asking, like, "Do you enjoy smoking cigarettes during sex?" And saying, "You have to try it." And so this person said, "We thought it was so weird." Crazy. Okay, so let's go to Matt Damon. So it says, "I passed Matt Damon at a bar. We caught each other's eye, and he looked at me, and I said hi. And he said hi. I said hi back, but kept walking, not realizing he was trying to talk. Later, he stopped me and said, "Hi, I'm Matt." I didn't know what to say, so we had a pretty strange chat until his agent walked up and I slinked away. Matt later asked my friend, "What's up with your friend?" I tried to talk to her, but she was having none of it. My friend tried to explain that I'm just shy. Matt said I'm shy too, and she replied, "Well, she's returned." Okay, hold up. I'm so sorry. What is happening right now? I feel like I'm. Okay. This calls for a sip of my cup water. This is also cancelable. I laughed because I wasn't expecting this, but saying the R word like retarded, definitely a no go now. Like, that's not something that you say. But I'm reading it. This, what the fuck? So, this is what it says. My friend tried to explain that I'm shy. Matt said, "I'm shy too." And she replied, "Well, she's retarded." And he goes, "She's retarded?" So now Matt Damon thinks I'm actually retarded. You guys. Oh my God. What is going on? Okay. If anyone has gotten to this point in the video, leave like leave an emoji of your choice. Because that was just insane. We have one more. Since I've read the others, we might as well. JC Chayez. I feel like he was in one of the boy bands, like NSYNC or the Backstreet Boys. I can't. He looks familiar though. But apparently, JC. It says JC and I were flirting in Vegas when he started to brag on and on about owning a sketch of a famous painting. As an art history major, I asked him about it. It turns out he knew nothing about the piece, so I told him that he was lame and walked away. That is pretty lame. That is very lame. Like, how are you gonna like boast about you have this art piece and then you don't even know who painted it, what year, what style of art it is, what medium it's in? Nothing. Oh gosh. What is this? Looking for love. Are you the one he wants to ask out? What the fuck? Okay, so this is Brennan, 17, from Port Orange, Florida. This is so weird. This is so weird. Is 17 magazine even a thing now? I don't know. But okay, I guess Brendan wrote in and wanted to be in 17. His crush. He says, "I see you every day at Spruce Creek High School." Oh shoot, called out the high school and everything. "You have no idea I've had a crush on you for 3 years, and I'm too shy to walk up to you. Rachel Chamberlain, would you like to go to the movies at Beachside with me sometime?" So he actually said the high school for first and last name. That's crazy, but couldn't just talk to her in school. So now she's gonna be like with her friends, flipping through her 17 magazine, like, and we get to be like, "What? What?" He just asked me out over 17 magazine. Like, is that romantic? I don't know. I don't know. This is so odd. This is so odd. Okay. So there's a Justin Timberlake. Justin. Last time I heard about Justin, he had like gotten a DUI or something. And he was like, "Do you know who I am?" I cannot. So it says, one fan dishes about her random encounter with Justin Timberlake. "I love Justin Timberlake, and when I went to his New York nightclub, or when I went to this New York nightclub, Sweet 16, last year, I wore an 80s style t shirt with his face on it while I was there. I suddenly spotted him dancing in the back of the place. I was so psyched to see him that I grabbed my two friends, broke through the swarm of girls who were standing around him, and walked right up to him to say hi. He didn't say anything to me, but he did ask my friend if she partied here often." He wanted to know that because if they came here often, he was not coming back. She said, "You have to see my friend's shirt," and nodded my way. He saw it. gave me a weird look, and then said, "Whoa, cool shirt," as he put his fist out for me to hit it, like a fist bump. I was totally mortified, but before I could say anything, he moved on to the next group of girls. And that's Lindsay, 21, out of New York. Lindsay, you were doing entirely too much over Justin Timberlake. Vince Vaughn? Why is Vince Vaughn in the 17 magazine? What happened to this man is old. He looks, and now Vince Vaughn is like magged out and shit. He's all with the MAGA crew. I'm so perplexed. I do not want to read the interview by Vince Vaughn. I'm so sorry. And what movies were coming out back then? So, The Notebook. It was going to be coming out June 25th of 2004. Spider-Man 2. Toby and Kirsten. Before Sunset. Dodgeball. What tours were going on? They had Lollapalooza, Vans, Warped Tour. I don't even know if they do Warped Tour. Apparently Madonna was on tour. JoJo had an album coming out. The Roots also had an album coming out July 13th, was my mom's birthday. Tyler Hilton, I don't know who he is. We have an editor's letter here. Miss Allison. And then we get to our girls. Here we go. I remember they used to always do work together, always. And then I think they tried to separate there for a while, but it didn't work out. So then they started doing stuff together again. But Mary-Kate and Ashley, the Olsens, are making their own Declaration of Independence this month, and it's so crazy because at a certain point, they were everywhere. We grew up with the Olsens, their movies, even their little clothing line, their TV show. We grew up with the Olsens, and so now they went behind the scenes and were very reclusive there for a while, barely came out and stuff. And then they've created their own fashion line, and it's very, very high end, considered quiet luxury, very simple, basic stuff, but a sweater is gonna cost you $3,000 fucking dollars, if not more. So, and I just got another CFDA fashion award. They're always getting CFDA fashion awards. I think this year they got it for accessories. So they're very much into the fashion world, and that's where they've been reigning for a while now. In their adult life, they really haven't acted much at all. And it's crazy because their sister, how many of y'all is there? But there's Elizabeth Olsen, and she also acts. So, yes. So I guess it says this was a big year for Mary-Kate and Ashley. This is when they finally take the reins of Dole Star Entertainment, their billion-dollar film and merchandise company, when they turned 18 on June 13th, and they'll be moving 3,000 miles away from home this fall to attend New York University, which is awesome because when they were in New York, that's when we always got their street style looks with their big oversized clothes, the big hobo bags, very hobo chic. They really coined that look. Loved it. I love that boho chic look even to this day. So this is when they got control of their billion-dollar company, Dole Star Entertainment. And they were doing clothes, I think, even when they were younger, because I feel their clothes were in Kmart or Walmart, one of the two. But yeah, it says that they are setting up an office in New York and will share a $3.5 million 3-bedroom apartment in Manhattan's West Village. Very cool. just because the sisters are going on this adventure together doesn't mean they'll do it in the exact same way. After all, they've made it clear to the press that a separation is inevitable. Hopefully, people will accept us for who we are and respect our choices wherever they lead, says Mary Kate. So, in honor of the Declaration of Independence, 17 gave each girl their own spotlight for the very first time. Oh, I love this. So they kind of like separated out their articles. So you've got Mary Kate on this side, you've got Ashley on this side. All right. So obviously, let's see. And they've made it like pretty equal. I think like I've always liked Mary Kate's style more than Ashley from what I'm remembering. And I'm like looking at them and I'm trying to like figure out how I can remember the difference between them, like subtle differences. They look very much identical, like when you see them in this platform, besides the difference in hair color. But, so Mary Kate says, I'm not nervous in the least. She probably was the more outspoken one, maybe, and she might have been actually the more reserved. But she says, I'm not nervous in the least bit. Mary Kate says about her decision to attend NYU. We're always starting new things. I think of it like we're going to New York to stay for a couple months. If I look at it that way, there's no negative about it. She says attending college is something that she's always planned to do. We're from people who say you grow up, you go to college, she explains, and her program allows students to tailor their curriculum. I want to explore lots of things. So she went to NYU's Gallatin School of Individual Study. So individual study means you get to explore a wide range of curriculums, and it's probably a lot more flexible for people like the Olsons, the jet setters, the people who are super famous or have a very rich family or something like that. So she went to school for individual studies. Imagine me telling someone, oh, when did you graduate and go to school for individual studies? They're going to look at me with like the blankest stare. Oh my gosh. So she says, I want to explore a lot of things that I hadn't had a chance to do in high school, like painting and cooking, says Mary Kate. She may even open a restaurant one day. I'm excited to start a new chapter in my life, she says, and that includes a shift in the most important relationship of her life. Ashley and I will probably separate when we go to college. So she's very much like, I'm going to do my own thing, I'm excited to start this new chapter. We'll probably go our separate ways. So let's go over to Ashley. So apparently Ashley is 1 inch taller and 2 minutes older. I didn't know that. Than her sister Mary Kate. She admits she's a little nervous. So maybe, yes, she's a little more reserved. Leaving high school is like leaving the comfort zone that we've been in for so long, she says. And Ashley also confesses she's been stressed out about many of the same things that keep her soon-to-be freshman up at night. I'm afraid that maybe the work will be too hard or too much. Maybe I won't be smart enough for the class or won't know how to write a paper, she says with genuine concern. While she's thinking about majoring in psychology and business, Ashley would like to take some film. So she's like more structured, like more has a plan. She's like more of the worrywart, more introspective. And Mary Kay, she's like off to have a good time. She's like, I got this. I want to do this. I want to go that way. Like the free spirit. So like, interesting. Very, very interesting. Like she knows what she wants to do, psychology, film classes, like, and she's like, oh, I'm doing individual studies. Okay, Mary Kay, go ahead, girl. Um, she wants to take some film classes since producing and directing is what she wants to do ultimately. But she's worried that her presence might be a little awkward. It's going to be weird, she says. I imagine sitting in a film class saying to a teacher, well, that's not how it works on set, right? Because all the countless sets they've both been on, and then someone's trying to teach you something you've already lived time and time again. But sometimes you have a jealous teacher or someone in the class who's always making a snide remark, especially if it's about something we've already done. I just hope that doesn't happen. I hope they didn't experience that. I wonder, like, did they actually end up graduating? Pretty long article. Oh no, it only goes to this page. Oh no, this is something completely different. So, new beginnings. This is for Mary Kate. She says she's looking forward to going to college, but admits she is concerned about starting at a new school. When I do well in class, it's because I love my teachers, she says, so I just hope that I have great teachers that I want to work hard for, because that's such a better feeling than just, yuck, I have to go to class again. But even for a class she didn't like, Mary Kate would still put in effort, because she doesn't expect professors or other students to give her special treatment. She really just wants to fit in. And while you see her glammed up in magazines, in her downtime, Mary Kate's style is what she prefers to as bohemian and comfortable. Yes. I like good vintage t-shirts, and I only wear 2 pairs of jeans. She says, a pair of sevens from a film we did, but I bleached and altered them in a pair of Levi's. Once Mary Kate makes her move across the country, she'll be able to spend more time with her boyfriend of 7 months, David Katzenberg. He's 20, who will be a junior at Boston University. So she's going in as a freshman, and he's a junior. Apparently Jeffrey, his dad, is the co-founder of DreamWorks. You know, just something slight. So let's go over to Ashley. So it says, when Ashley chose to move to New York City and go to NYU, everyone assumed her boyfriend of 3 years, Matt Kaplan, 20, a quarterback for the Columbia University Lions, may have been the reason, but the couple called it quits in May before they even had a chance to see what living in the same city would actually be like. A long-distance relationship was difficult, says Ashley. She's always been worried about her private life being exposed, and now that she's single again, her concern will probably be a little more intense. You go out and someone calls page 6, Ashley says. You can't even sneeze without someone writing about it. She's got a point. For real though. She's got a point. It was the New York Post, page 6, first that broke the news of their split. That is crazy, having people constantly in your effing business all the time. Okay, so let's continue, you guys. Times are changing. So Mary Kate says, I think it's so funny, turning 18. What do people expect, says Mary Kate, who has to deal with dirty old men like radio personality Howard Stern, counting down the days till it happens. Could you imagine that happening in today's world? Like some radio host doing a countdown to when somebody turns 18, you're going to jail. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? So apparently Howard Stern was doing that, but apparently he wasn't alone. Guys around the world had dedicated websites to this occasion. It will not change me as a person, she says, with a big day. People's perception of us are bound to change as we get older, but that's nothing new. Public perception of us has been changing since we were babies.